What's up, Hippo lovers? The Viper against Hera. Semifinals in the $15,000 tournament. Graveyards map number 1. We have the Civ draft at the side here and can just jump into the action right away. And this is the moment where I ask the chat, what do you think about the predictions here? Who do you see win? Left hand side Hera, right hand side the Viper. I will go with the 1-3 prediction here. 1 win for Hera, 3 for the Viper. And obviously I should not have said that. And yeah, the Viper playing Mayans here, quite interesting. They're also really good for some other maps. And yeah, let me quickly ban someone. Like, I'm really getting annoyed here. Yeah, and the Viper with the first boar lure here in the yellow chunks, exactly what you want to see. Hera on the other side with Franks had a really clean game there yesterday with Franks. Now a villager stack, and we will have some wild maps for sure. House quite unfortunately being placed, and I can expect that this in the game. Just open the game, search for games, search for one of the names of the players. Burgundy is a free win for Hera. 3-2 win for Hera, I feel. How is Burgundy a free win for Hera? Huh. I don't really see that one happening, but okay. How can I bet with the channel points? Maybe one mod can start the predictions. And Hera, one villager over here already walled in. Predictions at the top is now running, so you can get your points on there if you feel like it. We'll have that running all day long. Thanks for offering 7 and 20. That's not 60 FPS. Okay, I didn't know that I did that, but you're very welcome. Viper strategy wise is so good now. Okay, if you say so. He looked shaky yesterday. 3-2 set against Tedo, and Tedo could have easily taken it, in my opinion. Were some really close games, but Hera and Lyri looked really shaky as well. So quite interesting to see how they will adjust. Viper scouting quite a bit still at home. Interesting. So did scout the front first. Wants to go for the drush. Now one villager on gold. Timing potentially a bit late. 56% on Viper, 44% on Hera here for game number 1. So we're seeing a very close prediction. Top 20 for Hera, goes for Loom, and then will go up. Do you know if Viper trained for this tournament? Yes, I do know. He did train very little. Yeah, like I think one day. Best of 7. Count the dots at the top, and you see how many games this one is. Hera, 1 minute 30 away. Militia coming over. The Viper playing the 3 militia drush. Now the first farms even being built. And where is the first angle of attack? Looks like looks like berries are getting attacked, and I would really appreciate if mods are very active today. Feels like some people are in a big trolling mood here. Did any of the top players train for the tournament? Well, some preparation was done, but yeah, I think no one invested more than like 5 hours into properly training into this one. We already discussed the reasons for that prior to the show. Finals indeed will be best of 7s. While this one is being live, Hera against the Viper, Lyri and Doubt are playing recorded game, or are playing right now, and we will cast the recorded games after that to give both advancing players to the final a reasonable amount of rest, and then best of 7 finals, as we mentioned. Did you train for this tourney? As I said, roughly 4 or 5 hours, I would think. Shot on the Holy Cup sounding like a botched version of Holy Crap. What? Now going on to gold. Viper will play it, rush into flush here, will wall all those areas, and both players going for small walls. A bit surprised that Hera's walling off that villager. And that villager actually will be trapped here if I see that one correctly. Oh, that's ugly to micro. Or actually, will it? Oh, needs to wall behind that one? Yeah, but does well enough. So me having lag status now in a few days now in Nilly streams. You're the first one complaining, so not that likely. Nilly, what do you think it's better? Full walling versus local walling? Depends on your strat, depends on the enemy strat, depends on your civ, depends on the opponent's civ. Like, that's so oversimplifying it. That answering the question would be basically lying to you. In this case, I would have liked some walls around that villager. What's a flash? A Feudal Age rush. We're building some army in Feudal Age. Spearman now for the defense will get 1 scout. And for example, if you're Mayans and going for the drush, obviously the opponent will have stronger units out earlier, right? So going for small walls as the Mayan player against the scouts makes lots and lots of sense. This time, Hera will go for small walls here against the drush, but now going for small walls around the mill, for example, or the gold would not make sense because next archer's out. So Hera, I think you will have to go for an archer range, and only after defending the first archers, then he can go for big walls. I think small walls could be a mistake. Has to be very, very active on the map for sure. So the more range units the opponent builds, the fewer small walls you can justify. Kind of as a rule of thumb. Should get a medal for improving game and tournaments for everybody, players and viewers. Thank you. Okay, scout still around. Viper still with the 1 villager loss here. Hera will stay active. Viper goes for some interesting quick walls here. Will he get a hit? Okay, we'll get 1 hit. We'll get a volley off as well. And can't be too sad. Another spearman around. Probably should chill next to those villagers. And now Viper, after finishing fletching, will try to make an attack happen. Fletching should be flying in any second here. Indeed, we have it now. And then it will get really ugly, getting pushed away from the berries. But Hera did a good job focusing heavily on the berries. So I don't see him getting into too many problems. Skirmishes here for the defense should be in time. Fletching now on Hera's side. He should be able to defend this one quite nicely. Spearman probably with another hit. No, Viper very focused on the front. Gets another hit off though. And now the big question, is the Viper mixing in some more eagles? Could be a good answer to the skirms. Eagle, indeed, another eagle being mixed in. Now goes forward, probably 1 hit, and then waits for the skirms again. Viper dodges that one quite nicely. Now the micro dance is happening. Hera considered to be slightly better in that one, but I think 6v6 units, we don't have the biggest difference. Now Militia and Eagle joining the party as well. TC actually gets the kill. Viper with some missteps here, but so is Hera. While we don't have any movement on those scouts, so a bit surprising here, but I think skirms are close enough to the archers now that they should be dealt with. Hera house for a long time, and he didn't build a lot of new houses, right? He doesn't really have too many wild open villagers. Doesn't really want to wall at the woodland, doesn't really want to wall more around his farming area. So I had to build a wild one there. More militia, more spearmen and Viper. He's already flirting with cartilage. Look at that one. 400 food, 5 villagers on gold. Now some harassment. Shouldn't really find a kill though. They're maybe equal, if not better than Hera these days. But there's just something about Viper Hera games that really hype. Oh yeah, well, probably we had 2 eras, right? One era that obviously was way longer, where the Viper and Lyri were number 1 and 2. Then Hera and Viper were number 1 and 2. And now, all of a sudden, they 3 are basically in a love triangle. And everyone can take tournaments there. So, pretty sweet spot for sure. Hera is no way better than Lyri? Yeah, lots of people would disagree with you there. Oh, look at that one. Sneaky archers here. And that kind of means, I wanted to say that he's switching away from archers, but he actually continues to produce and adds the second archer range. That is truly surprising to me. Because those 2 archers should not get any kills, and those villagers aren't low HP. I think the best time to watch AU2 right now? Probably, right? Yeah, since like... Yeah, like... Maybe not game-wise? Like, game-wise it might be better in like 2000, 2001, 2002. But simply that you have capture age, that you have proper streaming, that you have casters and such makes it just so much better. So yeah, probably the best time ever to be an Age of Empires fan. I agree with you there. Viper now goes for the big walls. And Hera didn't go for any walls, simply because he felt like he can defend with the skirms and never had really the good spot for it. It's chasing those archers away as well. Why would you say game-wise it was better before? Well, it's just the love of the game was different, right? Now it's all about optimizing, the meta is very figured out, and strategy choices are a lot like walling and trying to skip corners, play defensively, because people have simply figured out the game so much more. In the past, games were way more wild, every game was new, and yeah, like it's the joy of exploring something simply was there in 2001. I think that's something that those pros won't really feel right now. Unless there are crazy tournaments like these, right? Where we have completely new maps and they have to figure stuff out. And I think maybe Empire Wars gave the feeling a bit to some players. Yeah, discussion still continues with Viper, Hera, Lyri. It is quite interesting, right? In March, I did a list top 15 players in the world, and also Hera and Viper rated themselves in there as well. Maybe you want to give it another look. I asked the pro players to give their input. Hera now forced into a defensive tower. Skirm numbers were kind of skipped there, and that means crossbows are coming in. Eagles now diving as well, maybe focusing down the skirms. Indeed, that's what's happening, and that means crossbow will stay efficient. And villagers, well, they will be forced to be idle at least for a small moment. Knights, they don't really want to take the engagement before they get the +2, running around a bit more. Villagers now fighting crossbows in low numbers though. And Hera will get the clear up. Maybe a bit of a long fight before getting the +2 upgrade. I think he could have saved another knight, but still pretty solid clear up. But certainly a win, because the Viper can now get it onto TC, while Hera, he had to go on stone to afford one himself. Scouts around. Great players, great cast, and such a nice community. It's crazy how the level of casting has improved over the last 3 years. Obviously, way more people are coming in, and the standards are forced in a very different level. And yeah, I'm so happy with the community, right? Oh god, I enjoy Counter-Strike and watching Counter-Strike quite a bit, but oh boy do I want to get eye cancer if I try to read the chat there. Pooh. Yo. The Mister, hey yo. Maybe a name that you want to take a look at when it comes to Age of Empires 4 tournament in the future. Legend of the game. In Age of Mythology, I believe, right? Capture Age makes a big effort. Yeah, obviously helping quite a bit as well here. Just the difference there from the first Woobly days to Capture Age. Quick wall here, not going to happen. And Hera will find some kills. No reaction here by the Viper. Villagers, obviously, will die in 4 slices against the Knight that has +1 attack. Meanwhile, Knights are getting dealt with here. Viper with the reaction. Whew. We are from Age of Mythology? Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great opportunity with Age of Empires 4 there. that people from Age of Empires 1, 2, 3, 4, and Age of Empires 1, 2, 3, Mythology, and Online are all coming together and can play. Although I don't think lots of people from Age 1 will change to Age 4. Probably very few. Guys, did you know something you won't really believe? But last month was one of the best months in Age of Empires 2 history, right? With Red Bull 5 finals. Age of Empires 1 had more viewers than Age of Empires 2 that month. Just a really good month over there as well. Okay, now some more conversions. All in Vietnam? Yeah, like more than 95% in Vietnam, obviously. More people watching A1 than A2. Yeah, in a normal month, it's pretty standard even. Yeah. Does Hera have husbandry? I did not see it yet. Maybe someone caught it. Yeah. Didn't Vietnam love AOE that watched? Yeah. Vietnam has like 30 full-time Age of Empires 1 streamers. No husbandry? Okay. Thanks for checking. TC number 3 now for Hera. Viper, pretty even villager numbers here with this 3 TC play as well. Now goes for some conversions, but Hera says, no. I'd rather die instead of going over there to the yellow corners. Is the A1 community big outside Vietnam? Not really, no. Borky, hey yo. They don't use Twitch for streaming? No, it's completely Facebook. Or they have some people on Twitch, but mainly Facebook. It's simply their way of streaming and communicating. Do you think community will slowly switch to A4? More likely be a blast in a short time. I think it will be a blast at the start. I think lots and lots of people will give Age of Empires a good look. And then it depends on how good Age of Empires is going to be. Age of Empires 4. If people... What? Did he just delete a knight? He just deleted a knight instead of the palisade. Pooh. Defensive castle here by the Viper. Crossbow numbers now coming over. 2 knights here could get converted. Doesn't really want to go in there. But Viper... Oh, it's double conversions! What? That was so fast. So fast. Scorpion not being built because we're 91 out of 90 population here after the conversions. Oh, Hera desperately needs houses. Only 1 villager to build them. Okay, 3 houses, but that's kind of it. Mining camp. Not the most efficient thing ever. Okay, now goes for another one. Heavy plow now for Vipers. Feudal. I'm a bit surprised to see number 4 here. So Viper wants to play a long Castle Age. I'm really surprised. Normally Mayans really love skipping Castle Age and rather want to squeeze themselves with some high crossbow numbers towards Arbalest. That's not going to be the case here. Viper with 4 monks should get all conversions. 1 conversion, 2 conversions, 3, 4. Okay, all 4 monks got a conversion each. So good on Viper there. Is that enough for Hera? It seems like a pretty even fight still. 3 knights around. And I think Viper's doing a pretty good job of microing away here. And simply 4 conversions here were so good. Where were Hera's monks? They were just chilling over there at the side. And they could have gotten some conversions back. But I think Viper is now going and might just heal up his army. Oh, this one was really good engagement for the snake. Hera goes for it again. Now finally we have some counter conversions, but those won't happen too quickly. Crossbows microing back, now getting the better surround. And Viper, what are those knights doing? That feels really weird. He's sending those knights away. What? Now back in? Oh, those were some misclicks there for sure. Viper still forces lots and lots of reactions. Meanwhile, another group of crossbows coming around. But still, very surprising to me how the Viper is playing this. And now deletes all the knights. Whew. Hera, defensive castle now, protecting his gold. And look at that one. He's clicking up to Imperial Age pretty soon. While the Viper, he won't get that chance. By the way, graveyards. Quick question to the chat. How many relics do we have on this map? Who knows? This is not a joke. Why is everyone laughing? I didn't make a joke, guys. Okay, I'm not sure why everyone is laughing, but yeah, 11 relics on this map. At least some people were correct there. And Viper now going for pikemen as well. So really late Imperial Age. And I'm really surprised how he's approaching this one. Viper deleted his starting TC? Why? How? Oh no. Oh no. And now the knights are in here. Can we see some quick walls? Viper looking pretty shaky. Oh, shaky, I say. Masterful quick walls, he says. And the castle will still go up. Another army coming over there. And Viper, I think one more palisade needed. Indeed, he gets it up. All good there. So looking pretty solid with that defense. But yeah, I really want to see the win rate. Maybe someone can get that to me. Like Viper win rates in tournaments, game number 1. I wouldn't be surprised if they are like 40% or 50% or something like that. Like something incredibly low. It can't be 40%, right? You know, he surely has like 75 overall. But I'm pretty sure it might be the lowest win rate. Seems like Viper will just die. He's 30 population ahead. Will click up to Imp eventually as well. And is now going back with that army. 50% incredibly low. Well, if you have a win rate of 75 to 80% overall, then 50% is incredibly low in comparison, yeah. No wards for Hera? Well, that's not a problem. There's no real raiding potential by the Viper so far. He needs to go for pikemen first. Right, walls only make sense if your opponent is actually attacking you. Ask the Chinese. They built a long wall and never got attacked. And now it's for tourists. Okay, Hera now has the last armor upgrade on his knights. Cavalry upgrade will take another minute. Viper just sitting behind walls. I think this is the spot where you kind of want to overboom. Because you know you're going to lose 20-30 villagers the next time Hera gets in. And you really want to muscle up your halberdier numbers. Isn't this a Civ win now? Not really. Stone Gate, and I love that. Even yesterday I said, oh, he wanted, one tile away. One tile away. He wanted the gate there. That would have been crazy talk. Small misclick there. Phew. No traps? Well, I think he felt like he didn't really have enough control. Viper 50 seconds away from finally starting his halberdier upgrade. Probably rewarding that area. Cavaliers around this angle, and look at that. I think this is flirting with paladins. Now selling all the stone. Yeah. Hera wants to go for paladins. Pikemen around here now taking the big engagement. That is uphill. Pikemen numbers simply not there. That's 28 against only 14 pikemen. Some conversions need to get in there. That's a lot of arrows in the air though. 60 population. That house is getting started. Maybe second house there could be a thing. And Hera, that was the big fight before he thought about getting to paladins. But that was also the big fight before Viper could upgrade to halberdiers. Bracer now on the way. More pikemen, more monks are coming. And Hera, does he maybe throw this game right here? It's 20 against 50 military. Pretty strong engagement by the Viper, I would think. Pikeman numbers simply were there fighting under the castle. And Hera lost simply everything before clicking to paladins. That was 20 cavaliers gone. Yeah, he decimated the numbers when it came to pikemen as well. Down to 3. I don't really know who came out ahead. It's like both players had like heavy losses. Neither player really wanted to take that fight. I think in the end, Viper not losing any crossbow, not losing any plumes is good enough for him. His economy is strong enough to continue with some pikemen there. So probably a better fight for the Viper. You're still 100 seconds away from the Paladin upgrade. 18 on the field, 11 more on the queue. Maybe we could see some more stables, right? 4 only now. Now the 5th one on the way. What a weird misstep. Relic count. 2 to 0, by the way. On a map with 11. Ah, that will be an ugly opening. And that's what I'm saying, right? I would love to see 123 villagers getting to 140 there. Simply because... Uh-oh, that needs to be clicked. That needs to be clicked. Okay, no need. Simply because it feels likely that Viper will lose some. But right now his defense is so good that he gets into a really good army. Whew. Viper not really focusing on the Harbour upgrade. Something I really would have loved to see. Plum Dutch is now coming around. We'll find some villager kills at the bottom. Shocked how few relics the Viper is getting. Not enough defense upgrade for the pikes. Actually, will that make a difference? We have 14. We have 16 damage. 55. It's 4 hit either way. Yeah, armor doesn't make a difference. Right now. Can't believe Viper hasn't clicked harp yet. Yeah, he used the market and now finally clicked it. So, good on him. Hera. Now the question is, like, I naturally would always transition to some skirmishes here. Is that really the unit that you want to have, though? Gold upgrade for Hera. Stone walls behind there. Another Cavalier raid here. Castle at the side, and this is the game number 1 that we wanted to see. Back to 48 Paladins, 12 more on the queue. Viper will face a massive army here of Leary. And as you can see, army number 76 for the Viper, 54 for Hera, but army value 8.3k to 4.3k. So Hera, I think, should just win this fight. Still heavily housed, now takes the engagement. No, he can't. Way too many Halberdiers in there. It's Leary. Sorry. Hera against the Viper. It's going to be a long day. Yesterday we had 10.5 hours of streaming. Today, I'm predicting, like the weather forecast is saying, 7-8 hours aren't unrealistic again. Pretty sure he wins that. If he is Hera, I can see what you're saying. The question is, how is the next fight looking? Right, because Viper, he can easily get to another 40 Halberdiers. Hera will struggle more to get to another 30 Paladins. What can Hera do against the Harps? Right now, he's deciding to go for some raids and then dwindle down Halberdier numbers. And therefore, the Viper is now producing more villagers. Will have quite some losses. Villager kills, 43. That will increase. And now the Paladins are taking the fight against the Arbalest because the Halberdiers are out of position. Hill advantage taken here. Viper not really microing this one. This is looking really good for Hera all of a sudden. Viper drops below, pop 150. And there's so many blue Paladins all around this eco. And Viper, one little hole might cost him the game here. What a crazy amount of Paladins Hera is putting on the field. Viper drops below, pop 140. Still tries to dance. Halberdier queue is pretty long though. Viper, where are your villagers? Down below 90. Ay. Crazy moves here. Now the traps are around trying to deal with that castle on the hill. Viper can't really get onto the numbers. Hera with a crazy boom. And this looks like game number 1 is going in his favor. I can't remember 1v1 where so many Paladins were flooded. Hera with 4 relics, the Viper with 3. Halberdier numbers are trying to get muscled up, but the Viper knows that he can't put enough on the field. 1-0 lead here for our Canadian. 162 Paladins created in this game. Crazy amount. 111 Halberdiers on Viper's side. And a crazy move. Hera never really switched away from his paladins, so Viper, his Arbalests actually were the wrong unit in that spot, maybe trading them off a bit earlier, and Viper simply needed to be walled, but this map is way too open to be fully walled everywhere. Traps can shoot buildings, can shoot trees, so this one was only a question of time. Crazy execution by the Hera. Really, really impressed. 162 paladins. That also include knights and cavaliers, right? But yeah. Okay, and then we have the really good KD for Hera. We will look at the TC delete from the Viper in a second. Obviously, so many villagers going down there in the end, and you see, right, Paladins got in and full control there of our Frank player. Gold income plus 5k, food plus 5k. Viper on wood, but that won't really help enough. And Viper simply really late imp, something we don't see too often from main players. I'm surprised. So let's take a look at what happened here. Ah yeah. So I can explain to you what happened there. Viper recently changed his delete hotkey to F1, I believe. And he's constantly spamming, as you can see, right? We can go a bit slower speed here, a bit slower being 0.25. Ah, okay, that was already when it happened. So he's going TC. And he's constantly like spamming the groups. 5, 1. Now goes for 1. Now he will have the 5 and the 1 again. And yeah, simply pressed F1 there, I'm pretty sure. Well.